Xbox. So we had the pre-orders this week, and at least what I would say is that with the PS5 pre-orders, they just pretty much went up randomly. Whereas, Xbox did have a good relationship with the retailers, and it did seem like, they hit the dates and the times. Unfortunately, though, it seems like just as many issues for people to try to get their hands on one, lots of bots, lots of issues. Like I was watching, it was quite fun actually, because a lot of people did streams and then also recorded themselves trying to buy one. So just kind of like looking at the frustration. And, a lot of these big content creators, they don't have special relationships. So they're desperately trying to get one because for their channels, it's quite critical for them to get their hands on these content. Like if you're a Xbox dedicated streamer or like content creator and you don't have a Xbox Series X, like you are going to lose views and some of your audience. So it's money to them as well. And I'm so baffled about the way the system works. It just seems so odd to me that, even really simplistic stuff, like just proving that you're a human, with those like capture checks and stuff like that, they didn't even have that.
So can I just talk about captures for 1 second?
Yeah.
Completely unrelated to Xbox.
Yeah.
So I said to myself, Roller Coaster Tycoon is free on Epic Game Store. I'm going to log it. I'm going to open the launcher, right? It made me do a capture where have you done the capture on the Epic Game launcher thing? It's like select matching dice faces or something, right?
Yeah.
It made me do it 10 times in a row.
Sounds like you're getting it wrong.
No, because I had a counter like 0 of 10.
Oh, really?
Seriously, I had to go through matching that thing. And honestly, like that was one of the... Most captures are super easy. That one, actually, you have to actually look at it 10 times. It was like a minute to get in. Sorry, I just need to vent about that. Please continue.
It's funny, though, because, like, a lot of those things, there's, initially they started using machine learning to try to beat those captures. And it's a really weird thing because they use those captures to feed into machine learning algorithms like Google and all that kind of stuff. But then really smart people and really devious people, what they do is, you know how there's like a lot of piracy and all that kind of stuff. They'll put captures on those sites, but the ones that you're solving are actually the other people who are trying to use automation to break things, like break passwords or whatever. So you're like helping out this, real nasty machine doing that. But yeah, just getting back to like the pre-orders, it I don't know, it just sounded like, and also we probably should put the context that the Bethesda announcement happened the day before the pre-orders went live. Not saying that had an influence. I don't think it did. I think it will have an influence over the course of Xbox Series life. But yeah, it just seems like there's surely a better way to do this. And, I went into EB Games, my local EB Games in Australia, so it's GameStop equivalent. And it was actually funny chatting to the lady just about the pre-orders, and it was like a really hectic week for them because over the course of the week they had the PlayStation 5 and then the Xbox Series X and S, and I was just there picking up Amiibo, of course. Why else would I be there? And by the way, the Joker Amiibo looks amazing. But yeah, she was saying that like one lady came in and she was like, "Oh, do you have an Xbox Series S?" And they're like, "No," like not at all. And she's like, "Oh no, I've promised it for my kids for Christmas." Just like, oh, that was a bad choice. It's just like, whoa, it seems like stock for these things are going to be really, really, really tight. So as much as they've sort of hit the timeline on trying to getting it out in November, it doesn't feel like they have the level of stock that's ever going to satiate the demand that they have. So, I mean, it's even selling out, as you've written down, in Japan. Like, that's interesting.
Yeah, and it's like that kind of news came out during the TGS, and we have no idea obviously what influenced that, but we also don't know what amount they actually had in Japan. Like, was it like 1,000 units or something? We have no idea.
Yeah, true.
Because
that's a good point.
They've some of the sales numbers in Japan of Xboxes and getting down there, but also like I was reading, I don't know if it was on Amazon or somewhere else, that the Xbox One X actually saw a spike, in the retail that had it. And we're like, people are thinking, are people just getting confused by the name here? Or did it naturally see a spike because of, hey, there's more eyes on Xbox,
Why would there be a confusion with it when you and I both have confused the names and we're doing a gaming podcast? Like,
oh, man.
It is horrible. Like, and I was telling my wife about this. I think the thing that annoys me the most, the number one thing that annoys me the most is, when we talk about things, when we're talking about Nier and stuff like that, you'd say the Xbox 360 and then the PS3. And we both know what that means is incorporating the Slim and incorporating, all the variations and all that kind of stuff. And same as Xbox One and PS4. Like when you say that, you're meaning the One X as well, of course, right? But what do you say regarding the next gen Xbox now? Like, what are you meant to say?
You say
What is the word?
Xbox Series.
But that sounds wrong. I don't think that's right.
No, I'm just saying that. What else can you say? Like,
well, people are doing this stupid thing of X pipe S, basically, because that's the way that Xbox is doing it. They're writing X and then doing the pipe symbol and then S.
Do I have a quick story? Not a quick story, but
yeah, go on.
That is that I was on I think it was a True Achievements article, and the article had done Xbox Series X //S, and then it had someone in the comments like, "This is incorrect. The official way to do it is X pipe S."
Oh, so do you like that I know this?
Yeah, and they're like, "You have gotten this wrong. Please amend your article." And I'm like, "Oh,
that's awesome!"
Like that's how bad awesome. People have gotten about being pedantic about this. And like,
yeah, but see, that's BS. You don't have to do that. That's just a marketing thing. I think if it's actual like the brand name, that's different. But that's just their preferred way of writing it. Like that's different.
See, for me, I would rather just say Series X because that's going to cover Series S. Like when we're talking about, because we know games are going to be playable on both, right? Oh, I've got a new game for my Series X. That makes sense because it's also the Series S, but you don't need to say it. You know what I mean?
Because I have to say, because the word series does not denote what they're saying in a way, right? Because you should have other series in the future if that's what they sort of mean. So I'm because like again, I think that you will get a Series X in the next year and a bit.
Oh yeah,
that's my prediction. Yeah. Oh, okay. So you're already admitting that. Whereas I'll wait about 3.
I said I'd probably maybe about 6 months after I might, but it depends on a lot of things, really.
Yeah, because I think for me, where I've landed with it all is that I will wait until the revision for the PS5 comes out, because that PS5, it's so big. Like, people do not realize how big it is. It is insanely tall. And I think, they'll have a revision and it's going to be heaps smaller. And I think with Xbox, where I'm landing is just now that they're sort of just reaffirming everything's coming out on PC. And I've got a good gaming PC. It's like, why would I get an Xbox? It doesn't make sense.
Well, it's been like
that's kind of where I'm landing.
It's been like that for a while anyway, but yeah.
No, I know, but it's just the confirmation. You know what I mean? Like, if they said, oh no, things are going to come out on Xbox first and then PC later, it'd actually change my mind a bit. But if anything, the best exclusive Microsoft has had in the last year and a bit, or maybe even longer, to me, is Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is PC only. So, yeah, I think that's where I'm landing on it. But yeah, no, it's interesting, and it was funny to see the Xbox One X sales spike. I mean, that's very relative. Like, it might have been 1 or 2 sales, and that was it. But the names are terrible. The names are shocking, and I can't wait to see what they're going to call their revision 3 to 4 years in. Like, what are they going to do? Like, Xbox Series XS or something? I wouldn't be surprised if they do that.
Xbox Series
XS.
1S.
Oh, no. They'll do Xbox Series X V1.22474487139. There you go. Done. There you go, Phil Spencer. And speaking of Phil Spencer,